Oh, hey everybody. Hi, it's John Clora. I'm trying to do another episode of the Mustang Owners Podcast for you, but I'm looking on my phone here. I'm expecting a big delivery I wanted to share with you today on the podcast, but it says it's been delivered. But I guess I'll have to just go out and check on the front porch, as I really want to share this with you on the podcast today. But,
John! Look what just came!
Tina!
The UPS truck was here!
That's it! This is what I'm waiting for! All right, everybody, we got it! Thanks, Tina!
Sure!
Oh, thank God she was here. Let me see. Oh my gosh, this is it, folks! This is the Ford collection. Look, this comes UPS. It says Fragile Company, Iconic Global Sports, the Ford USA Archives collection. Now, it says I think this thing's around 20, feel this thing, it's 20 pounds. Oh, Lord. All right, we're going to do an unboxing for all of you out there on the Mustang Owners Podcast to see what do you get. Now, you've heard of this collection before. We've mentioned it as a sponsor of the podcast, and we have a special offer for you. So let's open this up as a real unboxing of the Ford collection. This thing was 8 years in the making, and yours truly, as editorial director, and Mike Ray as the business manager, had a big hand in getting this printed and published. Only 2,000 copies were made for the United States, and guess what? We've got one of them. So first of all, you get this really swell, very heavily, this is thick cardboard. Oh man, and it's packed nice. So here's what you get when it shows up on your door. Let's see. Oh man. Okay, so first things first, well, it's nice to know it's wrapped in this beautiful plastic. And you got a very thick piece of cardboard, making sure that this doesn't damage. Oh, and there it is. Oh, look at this. This is the box. This is Iconic Global Sports, Ford the Archives collection, the collector's edition. So the question is, how do you get it out of this box? So let's do this. Let's stand it up and see if I can possibly pull this box out of the other box. So it comes very well packaged. So as you can tell, whether it's going across the country or across the world, this box is going to make it. Okay, so here it is. I got it out. Okay, let's get rid of this. Very heavy. Even the corners are protected. That's good. Now what do we got here? More protection. This beautiful presentation box for the collector's edition. That's in another piece of plastic. Let's see if we can get that. Look at this beautiful box. Oh. Okay, so this is your collector's edition. That's what you get. Now, let's open it up and find out the real jewels inside. Okay. Oh, check it out. Check this out. I love it. Look at this. Very, very heavy stock. Beautiful. This is actually embossed onto the cover. It's the Ford, the collector's edition with these beautiful ribbons. I guess the ribbons is what helps us take it out of its collector case. Here we go. I'm pulling on the ribbons. Sure enough, here comes the box. Oop. Pull them up at the same time and get it out of the box. Oh my gosh. Even this box is cool. Oh, check it out. It even has all the things that you get in the collector's edition on the back. It'll tell you, you get the presentation box, the book, you get all of the inserts on the inside, and then it shows you all the different badges that are reproduced inside and some of the memorabilia there. Now, the cool thing I know about this is that the memorabilia was taken directly from the Ford Archives, and the Ford Archives made it, the copies are exactly how they appear in the archives. So if they're yellowed or 100 years old, here is the book. Now, let's see what you get when you open the box. You ready? This is the history of Ford Motor Company. Look at that. Look at that. These are real replica badges, just exactly like the actual one. There's the old V8 Ford badge, Thunderbird, some of the greatest nameplates of the... Remember this badge from the 50s of Ford? There's the Falcon Futura, Cobra Snake, Ford, the modern Ford badge, Fairlane, and of course, gotta have the Mustang. This beautiful velvet, comes in this presentation box, and when you get this and you put this on your coffee table, trust me, nobody's gonna have this. Let's see what comes on top. Now this is the replica inserts. Here's what you get first. These are replica inserts from the Ford Archives. And you get this whole package of replica inserts. Oh look, even a Mustang brochure. And when you open up this package, you'll find a million different little cool things that we've gone through the archive and picked up from the archives. All the cool things we think you'd like to see the history of Ford Motor Company. Now everything is listed here on the insert page. And you have things like, the Rouge Factory brochure, Ford, the Blue Ribbon car. You have a little letter here. This is dated October 29th, 1912. It's a note to it's Henry Ford from Thomas Edison. A little letter. Here's Lincoln the open car motif. This is an antique Lincoln catalog that was reproduced. A telegram from Thomas Edison to Henry Ford. Here's an actual, an assembler card from the Model T program. More telegrams. Oh, here we go. Thomas Edison asking, isn't it time that Ford builds an electric car? Look at these telegrams. And check this out. There's a 49 Mercury brochure reproduced. I mean, these, you can tell these are the actual, these are the staples that used to hold it together. A dealer's license agreement. Hey, you want some stock? Some Ford certificate of stock back in 19? Oh my gosh, this is, look at this. Henry Ford signed it himself. These are old stock certificate. Now this is April in 1909. Oh gosh. The Articles of Association for Ford. Here's a shop copy. Here's an old Ford. These have reproduced actual, real, honest to goodness dealer showroom brochures that have been reproduced. The Falcon. Oh, look at, I mean, 1972, look at that. Lincoln, oh my gosh. More letters. More, just to give you an idea of the history, remember the Econoline van? Oh, the Fords for 55. That's where that beautiful badge comes from. All these replica inserts are taken out so that you can enjoy the history of Ford. Just going all the way back to 1948, the Ford trucks, the police cars. For you Thunderbird fans, beautiful. All these replica brochures, letters, and pieces from the archives have been reproduced just the way they look right now. If you were yourself going to the Ford archives and you were going to spend a day there looking through some of Ford's history, you got a whole list of it there, and it goes in this beautiful box, and that is one of your part of your collection. But the big part is right here. Let's pull this out. Here it is. Here's the 120-year history of Ford. Geez, that's even wrapped in plastic. We'll have to open that up. This is the collector's edition. This has been written by 8 different Ford authors, and some of them you may know. The guy who did the Mustang chapter, you know, because he's one of the hosts on the podcast, this John Clore guy, I don't know if you know him. But there's also guys like, you know, Jim Smart was the lead editor on this. Guys like Matt Stone, who used to be the executive editor of Motor Trend magazine. We picked 8 different authors to tell, so you don't get just one monotone story. You get the views of 8 Ford and Mustang authors from all over the world to tell, share Ford's story from back in the day, from the Bagley Avenue plant, from the very beginning till today. Now, here's your archive. Look, feel this quality of this book. I mean, it's a beautiful binding. And look, Dave Parasak, who at the time was the chief engineer and director of the Ford Icons, he was our forward writer. And also, you notice that Mike Ray and John Clore, both of us did that. Mike was the product coordinator on this project, and I was the editorial coordinator. But how would you like the entire century and a half history of Ford, starting on Bagley Avenue with the very first quadricycle, and hence starting from the very beginning when Henry Ford dreamed up his cars, to go back to the very beginning and trace Ford's history all the way through the assembly line, the first Model T's factory, I mean, all the great history moments of Ford till they built the car that put the world on wheels. And then, you know, then some of the big pre-war cars, you know, how Ford made its way through the pre-war era. And then, of course, after World War II, you know, we became the arsenal of democracy. And then, remember the 50s cars and the beautiful 60s cars. We trace all Lincoln. We also have Lincoln, Edsel, Fairlane, Falcon, Galaxy. You know, all Henry and Edsel's story, the entire story of the company, all the way through. And, of course, Mustang 1, and then advertising the Mustang. And remember the mention of all the things that started Ford's iconic collection. So after you get through to the modern era, the icons happen. That's when the cars that you know, forget the Model A and the Model T, let's go right to Mustang. And you know, we have every single generation of Mustang, and we have even the modern era GT40s right through the race cars of today, the Mustang Challenge Series cars. And guess what we did? We used owners' cars. Instead of saying those Mustang books that everybody's had, the same pictures out of archives of them seen 150 times over, we've used real owner cars. If they're really original cars, we put them in this book. So owners' cars are part of the history of Ford. And of course, you are all. So you can see some of these owners here. So after you get through that, look, here we are at the Haldeman Museum, where we're standing right now, here with another beautiful car in the Mustang chapter. Well, forget beyond just Mustang. It's more than just that. How about the trucks and the tractors of Ford Motor Company? Those are all covered in their own, and their very own chapter. And then I can't talk about Ford without talking about racing, all of Ford's glorious racing history. Then we also talk about the dealerships that made Ford great. some of the trucks that we know are great. The motorsports, all the great things that Ford did over its history, from Le Mans all the way to the Trans Am Championship to today's Mustang Challenge Series, even winning the Ford GT40, winning Le Mans again. So what did we do here? Well, then we started talking about owners. What about the people who, the owners groups, the dealers are all part of it, the faithful, we call it. Chapter 10 is all about us. So there are many people that suggested we put their club in the book. There, as you can see, some of these clubs are here, some of their events are here. There's Mike and I with Mr. Parasak. Here we are at the Haldeman Museum here. I mean, you can tell that this was our story. So the fans who love Mustang and Ford are also in this book. And all these great clubs. Here's the Haldeman Museum page, and then pages about dealers. All of it, and then a whole section on people that have submitted their car to be in Ford's history. Hundreds of photos of great collectible Fords, all in this 20-pound, 144-page edition of Ford's history. Not only that, you get this beautiful, archival, wonderful little pullouts, all in this great presentation case that you can put on. How can anything be cooler than this? Well, guess what? There isn't anything cooler. I've got over 200 Ford books, and there's nothing like this. This thing was a $300 gift. It was very difficult to find, but through our association with the publisher, the Mustang Owners Podcast can get $100 off the price of this book. So if you go to iconicglobalsports.com right now, and you in the discount code, you type in Club 25, that's CLUB 25, and you put that in the discount code, guess what? $100 will come off the price of this book. Normally, you'd have it shipped to you like this, just like this, for $330. Well, guess what? You'll save $100 now if you get online now and order. What a very special gift. So for the guy who has everything, you think you have the best Ford history book on the planet, you think you have the best collection of the greatest company on earth, you don't. Not until you own this. So check it out, iconicglobalsports.com, and then we thank them for being a great sponsor of the Mustang Owners Podcast. And for all these years, we're just happy to give you such a huge discount on a one-of-a-kind item. But you better hurry, because once they're gone, there's only 2,000 printed, and once they're gone forever. So don't pay $1,000 on eBay in a couple years. Get it now. Well, I hope you enjoyed this little special edition of the Mustang Owners Podcast. I'm your host, John Cloran, for my co-host, Mike Ray, who also had a big hand in doing this book. I want to thank you and make sure that you know that next time we'll see you, we'll be down the road.